22nd of the festival of Pesach, and it marks the Hilula of Harav Shaul ibn Danan, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, one of the great rabbis of his time. He was born in English year 1882, to be precise, on the Hebrew month of Cheshvan, and he passed away. He was around 90 years of age on the 6th of April in 1972. Naturally, there had been the 22nd of Nisan here after the festival of Passover. He was a great Diyan, a judge. He was head of Jewish court, Abedin. He was a chief rabbi of Morocco, I believe, between the years 1949 to 1965, and was awarded with the honor of the Akiri Yerushalayim in the year 1968. Now let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he came from great rabbinic auspices. His father's name was Rav Shlomo ibn Danan, who he himself, Rav Danan, happened to be head of Jewish court, chief rabbi also of fairs in Morocco, and author of a Shelot Shuvot book called Asher Shlomo and Bikesh Shlomo. And it was his father was considered one of the great rabbis of Morocco. So he was born in 1882 in an area called Fes in Morocco, a very famous Torah Jewish community of yesteryear, and he would learn a lot of Torah under the auspices of his father. Now it's reported that he was only around 14 years of age when he got married to his wife, Rabbanit Esther. She happened to be the daughter of Rav Yonatan Mimran, another famous family, I believe, in the Moroccan territories in of itself. Now, I believe they would have 4 daughters and a son. Now, for Parnassa, he'd work within regards to the documents business inside the city. He was an author also, I think, writing Jewish-related, let's say, shtarot in of itself, as we can actually relate over. Now, it's actually interesting. I believe there was a turbulent time period in Morocco, especially he was actually a writer within regards to, for the city, I think, for the living. I think they were in an area in Morocco called Tirit Hal, if I'm not mistaken, and unfortunately there was a lot of anti-Semitism at that stage in time, where there was, let's just say, anti-Jewish riots, anti-Semitism that the Jewish people had unfortunately suffered from at a very bad stage, and it was reported over, I believe, in the year 1912, if I'm not mistaken. There was a rioting going on for a 3-day period during the Passover and the Mamuna time period in of itself. And that I would recommend everyone to learn about the history, let's just say, within regards to that on a separate share, or just look into it to yourself. He would be appointed one of the members, let's just say, of a committee that actually would consist of 15 members, which was to help rehabilitate the Jewish community in of itself. And they would try and attempt, I believe, to receive compensation from French government, because unfortunately a huge result of damage was done, I believe, to the Jewish community in the city. And obviously it was a very tough time period in general, encompassment in of itself. Now, I think in the year Heitaf Reish Tzadik Sofit, that Hebrew year, his book would actually come. The book would be printed of his father, Bakesh Shlomo, also with, I think, his brother who would help do it, print it, Rav Moshe ibn Danan. Now, Rav Moshe ibn Danan also happened to be a head of Jewish court in Fez in his time period, and for a significant period of time, and was very famous posek halacha over there. Now, come with the year 1934, he would be around at that stage in time, about 52 years of age. He would be appointed a Dayan, a judge, in the Jewish courts in Marrakesh over there. This was a very, let's say, prominent position, and it was, I believe, the president, or one of the head rabbis over there in that respective area was another famous rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before, Rav Moshe Zerihen, who was the chief rabbi of Marrakesh, I think, for a total of 40 years, that happened to be. Now, come with the year 1939, who will be now appointed the head of Jewish court, the Rosh of Avot Beitai Hadin, over there in the area of Mugadir, which is a prominent position. And in 1941, 2 years later, he'll be part of the Chaver Bedin, the great of the city of Rabat in of itself. I think that was very much connected also at that same time, that area, to Rabbi Yoshua Berdugo, another great rabbi we've mentioned about of yesteryear. And come on, 1948, that was obviously at the time period of formation of the Medinat Yisrael, so it was let's say, an exciting period for Jewish people worldwide during that time period. He'll be appointed the head of Jewish court of Ar Orim, I believe, in of itself. So that was another prestige, let's say, position. And he become like the head of court of appeals also. And I think at that point in time, Rav Yoshua Berdugo would retire from his position as a chief of Morocco. I think it was because he was aging. He was at an advanced age, let's say. And Rav Ibn Danan was appointed to replace him in the position. And he would hold on to this tenure as a chief rabbi of Morocco for 15 years. Naturally, I think the rabbi that will take over him will be Rav Michael Issachar Kawa, another great rabbi we should maybe mention about at a later role, let's just say. Rav Enkawa, just to add to it, I think he passed away in 1972. His Hilula actually was on Rosh Chodesh Adar. I don't know if hopefully next year we will be able to cover his Hilula, the great rabbi, but that's very interesting. That's for another class. Now, come what the year 1965, after he would finish his position as chief rabbi in Morocco, he would emigrate to the land of Israel. And I believe around 7 years after he ended up in Israel, was lucky to come to Israel, he passed away on the 22nd of his son. That was 1972, and he was buried in the Givat Shaul cemetery. It's reported over in the family of the great Danan family, in the family plot, respectively. Now it's interesting. Let's explore a couple of the books that he wrote. Included the Hagam Shaul, which was based in 2 chalakim, I believe, 2 sections, which was a great book that I would recommend everyone. I think you can actually find it in the place of the Otzar. I think part of it was printed in Jerusalem and part of it was printed in Morocco. So very, very great, prestigious in of itself. Now he was buried, I think it was in Har HaMenachot in Givat Shaul. Naturally, on 6th of April, 1972, he passed away. He was awarded also, as we said on the outset, with the Yakir Yerushalayim in 1968. He was one of the great rabbis of his time. Don't forget to light candles in his memory. Friends, we're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of yesteryear. If you relate to any of the great chachamim we are speaking about, please let me know. I would love to hear more. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. We're a community here. If you feel anyone's interested in watching these videos, please like and share these videos to other people. So wishing you all blessings from Israel. Take care and be well.